Marvellous. Okay, good evening and welcome to this Expats Portugal webinar, Supermarket Shopping, the cost of living in Portugal. And we'll find out if that's gone up a little bit in recent times. This is one of our most popular webinars and presentations from Astrid, and I think the findings will be very interesting and important tonight. If you are watching on YouTube, please remember to subscribe and press the notification bell, and you'll never miss a trick here over on Expats Portugal and our webinar series that we do every Thursday evening. So let's get started with supermarket shopping. Inflation has come down a little bit in Portugal, and I think we're doing well compared to the rest of the world. But let's find out and go into some detail. Over to you, Astrid, for one of your wonderful cost of living supermarket shopping presentations.
Thanks, Carl. Yes, those who have been with us for quite some time might recognise this presentation, but very, very surprised today when I updated it to current prices. How much the prices have been inflated or gone up. It's absolutely crazy. So no wonder why the money's not stretching as far at the supermarket every week now or every day as I go to the supermarket. But I think Portugal still does offer good value for money, but things are on the increase. But put together this little presentation, so I'm going to share the screen now.
All right, while Astrid's doing that, so bringing it to the screen, please do put your questions into the chat. So we will have the presentation and then a little bit of a universal Q&A and address some of the questions of a more general nature at the end of Astrid's presentation. And then we'll turn the recording off, and those who are with us still in the webinar, live in the webinar, will get to ask more specific questions, maybe special dietary needs and those sorts of things. They'll probably be covered during the main presentation, but if you've got anything special you want to talk about after the recording is closed, we'll be around to do that as well. Thank you, Astrid. That looks great.
Can you see it?
I can.
Is it big enough? I'm trying to... It's a bit weird, but anyway, can you see that?
I can.
Okay, great. So this is the cost of living in Portugal for supermarket shopping, dated today, March 2023. So there are there are quite a few different supermarket chains here in Portugal, but the main ones are Continente, Pingo Doce, Auchan, Aldi, Lidl, Leclerc, Intermarché, and Mini Presso. There are other ones coming into the market as well, such as Mercadona. And I'm sure there's going to be people who will be able to contribute some more into that as well as chains for organic food. So if you are an organic shopper, then there's organic options available for you now in many supermarkets as well. So I just put together a bit of a price list of what you can expect to find in the supermarket these days. So in relation to dairy, I've listed what the product is and then included the name of what you call it in Portuguese to help you get a little Portuguese lesson at the same time. So we've got from butter, which is around €1.99, fresh milk, which is 79 cents, eggs from €2.55, and Greek yogurt for €2.39. So there you can see that there's quite a good price option there for you. I just stumbled then to see whether or not this was the latest one. Yep. So we've got a list of meat in the supermarket as well. So from bacon for 150 grams, you're looking at about €1.89. Leg ham slices, you're looking at $1.79. A free-range chicken, so a whole chicken, will cost you around €4.29 per kilo, and free-range chicken breast around €8.99 a kilo. Ground beef is €11.73. Now, just to mention in relation to ground beef, you can have several different options available to you. So you can either buy it pre-packed and pre-minced from the refrigerator, or you can go into they've got a butcher's. Most supermarkets have got butchers internally, and you can go and ask them which cut of meat that you want and ask them to mince that meat for you. That way you know that there's no preservatives or anything like that in the mix as well. And you will have cheaper cuts of meat for that as well as more expensive. So you do have that option there. Not a lot of choice with sausages here in Portugal. You've got pretty much fresh pork sausages and that's it. So around €5.99 a kilo. Pork loin, which is very, very popular here, €7.95. And then turkey, which is the leg of turkey, €3.99, and turkey breast €6.99. So turkeys are quite a popular meat here. Back in Australia, we don't eat it very much, but here you can find it. It's a staple in most dinner tables. In relation to fish and seafood, this is one category that I noticed didn't have huge price increases. So although the pantry staples did have huge price increases, the seafood seemed to remain around the same, with maybe a small fluctuations. But for example, freshly cooked prawns, the smaller size is around $9.90 a kilo. Oysters are around $9.99 a kilo. Mussels, very economical at €4.59. €2.49 per kilo. A whole fish, which is a brim fish called dorada, is around $9.99 a kilo. Fresh trout is very cheap here at €5.99 a kilo. Octopus, €18.99 a kilo. And if you wanted to get a side of salmon, you're looking at around $21.99 per kilo. So it is a bit more pricey, but I do find that the quality of salmon in this particular supermarket is very, very good. I should just mention as well that all these prices are taken from Auchan, the supermarket, and I've used the store's home brand in anything that's been labelled, unless it's mentioned within the description that it's another brand. So it is the home brand, cheap products that you can find, and from Auchan. Next we have pantry staples. Can you see that okay?
That's all good, yeah.
Great. So this is where I really saw the price increase dramatically for these type of products. So from spaghetti, pasta, rice was increased, plain flour and all-purpose flour was still very economical. But olive oil went up a lot. I think last time I had olive oil there for a 3-litre bottle for home brand home brand, it was Continent last time, and that was around €11. Now you can get home brand for 750 millilitres for €4.19. So you can see that as far as volume, the price has increased. The one that I was really surprised about was the canned tomatoes. The price had gone up from 49 cents last time up to €1.19 now. So that's a big hike. The other one that had a huge increase was the mayonnaise, and the Kellogg's All Brand had big, but the Kellogg's All Brand did have a bigger packet, so it was some value. They're giving you something back. But otherwise, popcorn, this is the corn popcorn, so the uncooked stuff yet. So you can get that 400 grams at around 59 cents, which will give you plenty of snacks. And then a block of chocolate, white chocolate, will cost you €2.79. Okay, for the drinks department, again, quite severe price increases here. So instant coffee, around 200 grams, €3.49. Twinings Earl Grey tea for 25 bags will set you back about €3.49. Coca-Cola, so if you wanted to get a twin pack of 2 1.75 litre Coca-Cola, you're just under €4. Bottled water here is very, very cheap. So you can get 6 litres for only 84 cents. Tonic water, 6 by 500 millilitres at €4.45, and so on. A bottle of the Sagres beer actually went down in price, so you can get 15 bottles of 330 millilitres at $13.99. I think last time they were about $15.99, so that is one price reduction. A bottle of gin Tanqueray will cost you $24.49, and if you've got the budget, then the French champagne will cost you about $46.59. Then there's plenty of different wines at all different price points from the supermarket, so there was too many to list here, but you can pretty much get wine from starting price around €2 up to probably about €20 in a supermarket, but you can go higher with that in some of the specialty stores. So depending on your budget and your taste. Toiletries. So to give you an example, the Pantene shampoo, the classic care range, the largest bottle that you can get will cost you about €7.99. The conditioner to match is a smaller size, but is the same price, €7.99. To get Dove soap, about the 4-pack of 100 grams, you're looking at €5.49. Toilet paper, 48 rolls, just under €10, and toothpaste, the Auchan brand, home brand toothpaste, was only 99 cents. So that was a good value. So to clean your home, you're looking at dishwashing liquid at around €1.55. Tablets for your dishwasher, 45 units, €2.69. They do have other brands or you can get the Finnish brand and Fairy brand here as well, much more expensive, but they do go on sale very frequently for 50% off. So you do need to jump around to the different supermarkets to see when they are on sale, but they are heavily discounted quite often. Kitchen towel paper for 4 rolls, you're looking at around €1.19. Surf laundry detergent, I think that's an international brand, you're around about €14.99 for 88 doses, and for a floor cleaner you're looking around €1.42. In the fresh food, fresh fruit and vegetable section, all these products here had price increases. So bananas gone up to $1.25, lemons $2.29, oranges $1.49. Red grapes at €3.99, mindful that they're not in season at the moment, so they're probably a little bit more expensive. Hass avocados, €4.99 per kilo. You pay that for about 1 avocado in Australia, so for me that's great value for money. And apples Granny Smith, you're looking around €2.39 a kilo. Butternut pumpkin, $1.69. Brown onions, $1.79. Red cabbage, $1.39. Tomatoes, $2.79, which is on the higher price point, but again, they're not in season. Iceberg lettuce, which I was really shocked with the price at the moment. So you're looking at €4.49 per kilo, which is just crazy for a lettuce. And potatoes, you're looking around €1.49 per kilo. To give you an example of what you could expect to pay for a family meal, I cooked up these dishes and priced out what it would cost for me to purchase all of the ingredients to make this. So to make this roasted salmon and veggie tray bake, all the ingredients cost me €18.71, which equated to around €4.67 per serve. So I think that's quite an economical meal for your family. Then this spaghetti bolognese, again, I purchased all these ingredients to serve 6 people. It came to €19.80 for everything, which equated to €3.30 per serve. Again, good value. And then finally, we made an apple and date pie, served 6 people. All the ingredients was bought for €7.49, which came down to €1.25 per serve. And that's it.
Yum is all I have to say about that apple pie. That looks great, doesn't it? Thank you very much, Astrid. And that's brilliant. And that's a great conversation starter. As you say, you're a bit shocked, right, by the rise in prices, but it's all relative, isn't it?
It was crazy, Carl. And look, the thing about the supermarkets here in Portugal, and I think everyone who lives here already can agree with me, is it's not like you can go to one supermarket and get all the things that you want. Like, you need to go to one supermarket to get your favorite yogurt, then go to another supermarket to get your favorite, whatever might be. And you seem to be running around to all the different supermarkets. It's not like you can just go to one and get everything. It's all different. So it is a good way to look out for the different sales. And when they do put products on sale, they do discount quite attractively. So like the dishwasher tablets that I mentioned to you, sometimes they're up to 50% off, which when you see that price, you want to buy. But yes, it's often lots of different treks to different supermarkets.
Yeah, I think Suzanne was although we're shocked here, Suzanne's saying all these prices are way lower than here in Pittsburgh. I shop at Whole Foods, and the local supermarket chain Whole Foods is usually cheaper than the local chain. So good to know that although it is going up here, it's still way cheaper, as you say, over here.
Oh, good.
Good to know. And I think we've got some other retail experts and bargain hunters among us tonight. Jerry, I know you often have something to add to this about the excellent offers and the loyalty systems that are available. And Thomas is with us. I'm so glad to see Thomas here tonight. I'm sure we'll chip in as well. Jerry, worth staying loyal to some of the supermarkets, right?
Yes, I think as Astrid's already mentioned, it's always a good thing to look and see what's on offer in the supermarkets. I mean, often we'll go there and come out with a shoulder of pork or something, which will cost about €8 and provide sort of 6 meals or something. It's so often, rather than specifying what we want to buy, we go and see what's available at the best prices. And Anna is the person to talk to about discounts, but Anna absolutely, in one of these sessions, Anna convinced me that we should look harder at these the discount schemes and so on. And we've done that, and it's quite amazing the deals we get, and we get discounts on fuel and things like that, and 10 it might only be €10, but it's €10 every time, and it all adds up. And I could see, Anna, I remember you saying that if you do it properly, you can almost get one free shop every month. And I could see that we could almost do that with all the different schemes that are available. But of course, then you've got to be loyal to one store and so on. But Anna, perhaps you could add some more to that.
Thank you, Jerry. Let's get some Portuguese insight and wisdom on this. Anna, what do we do?
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hi, Anna.
Well, if you are surprised with the increase of the prices, imagine Portuguese people.
Yeah.
It's been tremendous for us, but yes, you can use a lot of loyalty cards. In some of them, you get discount directly on the products, so you pay less when you leave the supermarket. Others, you will accumulate the discount to use in future shopping. And in some supermarkets, they give you discounts to fuel. And then when you go to have the fuel, they give you discount to the supermarket. So it's like a win-win. So you pay less for the fuel, and then you use the discount again in the supermarket, and then you use again in the So yeah, there is a lot of things like that. So it's important that you get all the loyalty cards from all the supermarkets available. And there are, of course, online options to search for the best sales of the week. Every weekend, usually there are different promotions, and on weekdays also. And usually I use it to buy the more expensive brands, like for example Coca-Cola, or the washer detergents, like I use Keep, which is for clothes, and I always buy them with 50%. So I never buy them at the full price. And that's important because you can buy 1 or 2 packs to keep at home. It does not get out of date, and it's important because you, with the price of 1, you get 2 if you buy with 50%. So that's a little bit of getting to know all the supermarkets and getting to know all the promotions and run after them.
So so with the petrol savings you've made, you are
Well,
then driving from one supermarket
you can
to
run with your feet. Don't spend the fuel on that.
Brilliant. And you would agree with the points that have been made about, like, it's almost like having a shopping hedge fund, isn't it? You spread your interest across the whole range of supermarkets. It's unlikely that people will be loyal to one supermarket here, right? You'd go to different places for different things, your favorites, and also to follow the bargains as well.
Yeah, usually also a matter of location. Some supermarkets may be better for you because you live close by. And so, for example, for me, I never go to Leclerc or Mini Preço or others because for once I don't have it close, and honestly I don't like it very much. So usually I go to Pingo Doce for the daily basis, and when I want something different I go to the Spanish ones. Sorry, El Corte Inglés and Mercadona.
Mercadona I've been to now. I've got to
Yeah.
say, the Bifana
Yeah.
that they do is pretty good. I can't believe we're saying this tonight and owning up to this, Anna. But yes,
And
Mercadona's worth a
that's
visit.
funny because of course Portuguese and Spanish have a big rival. We don't like each other, of course, but we like some aspects of the Spanish supermarkets. And for instance, all products related to beauty, so shampoo, creams, etc., are much cheaper in Mercadona than in the Portuguese ones.
Okay.
So
Well,
there
that's
are
where
some products which are better.
Thank
And
you for the tip. That's where I'll get my shampoo and conditioner from
Yeah.
now on. It lasts me quite a long time, I have to say.
also, if you have a business, you can have special cards to go to the big retailers, and you can buy bigger quantities, and you pay less. So it's important if you have a business, or if you have a friend that has a business, they have special cards to go to these big supermarkets, which are the retailers, and in there you get even better prices. Okay, you need to buy more at a time. For instance, wine, it's not a problem. But you get better prices, which is also important. Yeah.
Excellent. And I'm seeing more people, Anna, and we're talking of loyalty systems. How the software kind of hardware works is people have key fobs, the credit cards, and more often now apps, right? A lot of it is going to app based. Could you tell us about those different?
Yeah, most of the loyalty cards are really a plastic card, but you can have it on your phone. They have apps, and so you just show the QR code on your phone, or how do you say, the barcodes that you have on your phone, and it will count as a client, and they will give you a discount in the end. So it's
and they'll send you some deals on those apps as well, I
yeah,
believe.
usually they send you can get access to the promotions as well online, so you don't need the paper, you don't need to receive any flyers in paper, etc. You can check everything online. Yeah.
However, for those people who are a little averse to having to use their phone in an app, the flyers do come, don't they? The things I most get in my letterbox are finances letters and supermarket.
Yeah,
I'm really Portuguese now, aren't I? And the brochure from the local supermarket,
in
right?
Portugal, unless you put a sticker on your mailbox saying no free advertisements, you will get all the flyers in your post mail. So unless you get that sticker, the guys that are going to give away the flyers will put flyers on your mail.
The supermarket deals are in there, aren't they? You'll get a weekly brochure from the supermarket.
Every week, all supermarkets have it. And if you don't receive it, if you go to the stores, they are there. And there is a website where you can check all the flyers from all the supermarkets.
Is there?
It's something about the discounts in Portuguese, like descontos.
Yes.
And so it's like a a big site where you can have all the flyers from all the supermarkets.
Super. So descontos, poupe mais baratos. These are the phrases we need to be looking out for, right?
Yeah, look out for it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Anna.
Yeah.
Stick around. I'm sure we'll have more questions for you. Thomas is here as well, who's been busy inside the chat with a lot of wonderful responses. I want to share a few of these, if we may, Thomas. Good evening to you. Lovely to see you here.
To you as well. I need to correct one of my points when you get to it, if you read it out. So.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. We will make that correction so that nobody is misled tonight. But you've been busy in there, everything from avocados to B-days to fizz, I think. And my mind particularly, my glance went particularly to the fizz. Espumante, very, very good, Astrid, obviously, to include a French champagne in there. But Portugal's own fizz, you can get for what, $7.99 you were saying there, Thomas?
Yeah, you can get some good ones. Pingo is a good place for the larger producers on offer, typically for that kind of thing. And there's some very nice spumants from the area you lived in a couple of years ago, Carl, the Bairrada type area.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
So yeah, and they're very nice ones at that. We're not talking about, some of those cheap Italian style things. We're talking about ones you can happily serve your friends in bottles that look good as well.
Yes, Fita Azul and those sorts of brands. Yeah, very good. Excellent. What were you saying about avocados?
Avocados, there is a variety. I can't claim to know the name of it that grows quite well in certain regions here. We know some people not that far from us here in the Ribatejo who've got a huge old tree. And we're growing some in pots actually at the moment. They haven't got the stage of producing fruit. But the issue in Portugal is that short of a few places that I think are now starting to try and grow them intensively and commercially, they just don't have the production scale, and supermarkets want to know they're going to have a box of avocados every day, and Portugal can't supply enough of that at the moment. And the kind of more indigenous, they must have been brought over a couple of hundred years ago, the more indigenous versions, you kind of have to put in a brown paper bag for a week or so for them to soften up nicely to scoop out. But they're
Is that
very
how
tasty.
You do it? The brown paper, I don't know about the brown paper bag thing.
Brown paper bag. Yep.
All right. And that'll ripen your avocados. Okay. Thank you.
Don't ask me what the science is.
No, I won't. But thank you for the hack there. You also say that supermarket butchers are very helpful. I found that as well. Aren't they great?
Yes. Yeah, they are. One of my New Year's resolutions, which I haven't succeeded in, was to use butchers, as in proper freestanding stores, but they're not walking distance from me, so I haven't. But the supermarket ones are great. They tend to be a bit cheaper than what you get pre-packed in the same store, because quite often the butchers are actually almost a separate business within the store. And of course, it is fresher. They prepare it for you. So if you want I don't know, pork chops, they'll slice them off the joint for you if you want. I've got diced pork today. The guy diced it to the size of dice that I wanted and trimmed it and all that kind of thing. And there's no cost for the service, and you don't pay for the bits you don't want.
So your Portuguese is coming along nicely then?
Yes, it's getting there.
No, I don't think there are many expats here who could order diced pork. that's so you. And you say, yeah,
Thank you.
And that way you avoid the browner stuff. The old cut meat, right? Which is never very appetizing, is it? In its little plastic coffin, and no one wanted fat. I was talking to the butcher in my Intermarché, and I ordered a cut of meat that I've discovered since being here. It is the one you mentioned, Astrid, which is the pork loin, lombo, the porco. And I pointed at one, and he put it onto the slab, and I was going to say, no, I don't need it cut, and he was trimming some fat off it. How good is that he was that thoughtful to take some fat off before putting it into the bag for me? Superb. Okay. I don't know if we want to go down the resentment about toilet paper or bidets. Probably should be working there. Then okay.
Different webinar.
Right, okay. Prices around the country. Paul made a good point about how it may be that there are regional price variations, but you think not?
Well, no, it's not as simple as that. Some of the supermarket chains are essentially own most of their stores, and some of them are mostly all franchises, and the franchises do what they want. So most Intermarchés, all Leclerc's are franchises. So the pricing varies between the stores and between the locations. Most of the larger Continents, Auchan's and things and Pingo Doces are company owned, and their pricing's fairly similar wherever you are. So it's not as simple as it varies or doesn't vary by region. It's the type of and the size of store you're looking at as to what will happen on the pricing.
Okay, I think there's a bit of gouging going on in the alcove there. Maybe that's what Paul's referring to there. I think there are.
Well, interestingly, I do notice the one place I notice is that the Pingo Doce I use in Lagos, if I'm down there, certain things are inexplicably more expensive than they are in Santarém, and I think it is just because they think they've got a captive market there.
Yeah, that'll be the gin and tonic, I suspect. Yeah. Okay.
Astrid's overpaying for gin. You can get a decent bottle of gin for about 15 or 16 euros.
She'll write that down.
Really? Where's from?
She has expensive taste, Thomas. That's why she quoted the French champagne and not the Portuguese.
I just put it there for a comparison. I come from Australia where everything's over $100. So, for me, it's good value.
I've had lunch with her, and if the champagne is not 50 euros, she's not interested.
Yeah, you can keep your spumant. Okay, so thank you. That's a good point, Trevor and Shannon and Elizabeth. Good evening to you both. They go to the neighborhood mercados, but that's probably a little while into being an expat, isn't it? And that's a whole other world. And of course, Thomas, I think you're agreeing that they are cheaper, and you get to support local producers. And perhaps that's another program entirely. We are talking about supermarkets, which of course are a little bit more reassuring when you've just arrived here. The stress levels can be pretty high anyway as a new arrival, and going to supermarket is a little less stressful, I think. I mean, it's not completely stress-free, that's for sure, as some people have shared here. But I think going to the local market might be a little bit of a challenge linguistically and culturally as well. Did you want to add anything to that, Thomas, about the markets?
No, I think, yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear your last bit, Carl, but they certainly are. Yeah, absolutely. So most towns of any size have got one. Some towns, they're dwindling and closing, but towns of any size have got one. Bigger cities have got multiple ones. If you're in a more city environment, some of the sellers will help, or at the least they won't make things difficult for you. But in our area, you need to have some idea of of how to at least communicate quantities and things like that. But yes, the mostly ladies who run the stalls at our nearest municipal market, they either grow the stuff, or their family does, or they know where things come from, unless you're talking bananas or papayas or whatever. And that's a big part of it, as well as the price, as well as supporting the local stuff. And it genuinely does taste better. I used to be skeptical in the UK of some of the Whole Foods and farm shops, because they didn't always, actually. But here, I think you definitely do get more in quality and in terms of quantity for your money. So it's worth braving it. And, we try and get as much as we can of whatever we can there.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be part of this whole tour. At the point that was being made before, are you like this, where you're not loyal to one place? You'll go to where your favorite things are. And I think we had a hilarious conversation about this before, didn't we? About you found Greek yogurt somewhere, and you're
yes,
I think.
And real Greek yogurt is elusive at the moment. It's almost disappeared from Portugal. Greek style is fine, but my ideal, if I've got half a day to spare, because Astrid mentioned that the fact that you almost inevitably need to go to multiple places to do your shopping, is always to start with the municipal market and get whatever you can that you need there. Then I tend to go on. In my case, I've got a different approach to Anna, because I tend to not go to the Spanish type ones. I tend to go to the more French type ones. So I go to Leclerc, which has, it's only in the sort of the top 2/3 of Portugal. The south hasn't got it, but they tend to have a lot better range of some of the dairy stuff. A lot of their things come from France, because it's a French company, and they're also very good value on a lot of the generic toiletries, bathroom cleaning products. They have a good range of eco stuff as well. So that tends to be my next stop. And then whatever they don't have a sensible price on, I then go to Lidl and or Aldi for.
Okay.
So that's my kind of route round. So, but Anna's is perfectly valid as well. They're just different approaches to doing the same thing based on what we've got on our doorsteps, I guess.
Yes, well, that's right. You've got to go with what you've got locally, haven't you? So great points there. Did you make the correction you wanted to make, Thomas?
No, I kind of implied that there were fewer apps for loyalty cards than there are now. There are a couple of others. It's just they're not places I go to. So I had the Lidl one and I thought it was rubbish, so I ditched it, and then I forgot it existed. So Lidl has a digital app as well as Continent, and Pingo Dos has got something as well. I just don't tend to use their loyalty card because it didn't work for me. Yeah. Oh, so that was the correction I wanted to make. But Leclerc and Intermarché and somewhere else that I can't think what it is right now still don't have them digitally.
Thank you for being here tonight. Really helpful stuff. What did you have for dinner tonight, if I may pry?
Well, I've still got it. It's the diced pork dish. It's diced pork and turnips from the market, with some shallots and some sort of vaguely Asian spice combination. Ooh, it's quite tasty. It's getting cold here, so when I switch my camera off for a minute, I'll be eating some, but I'm still here.
Okay, thank you, Thomas, for being here. Back to you, Jerry, I think.
Yes, I'd like to add that most of the biggest supermarkets, and certainly Pingo Dos and Continente, also have hot food counters where you can eat in or you can take it away. And it's not the best food on the planet, but it's great value, incredible value, so if you're looking for somewhere easy to, just grab something to eat on a journey or something, find a Pingo Dos or a Continent and you'll have an excellent meal for about €5.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's also the place where you can pick up a chicken, cook chicken, and cook other dishes and so on. Items that you don't generally see in a standalone shop in Portugal.
Very good. Yeah, that's a really good call, and nice to know, isn't it? You do your shopping and then grab something to eat when you get home as well, already cooked. Really, thanks for that, Jerry. Good question for you, I think, Astrid, here from Alison and Michael. Good evening to you. Is most of the salmon and other fish in the supermarkets wild or farm raised? Would you have an answer to that, Astrid?
I don't think they're very clear at the labeling here when you're buying salmon. So I would think that it would be farmed salmon, not wild salmon. And the only reason that I am saying that is because I find here, especially compared to Australia, that the whole grass-fed beef, free-range pork, you can get free-range chicken, but it's a very small choice. They haven't really caught on to the whole, the welfare of the animal kind of mentality as yet. So I'm sure there are probably some butchers that you can go and get free range pork, but I've never seen free range pork here. I've never seen grass-fed beef. I do buy free range eggs, but there's one choice from 20 brands. The rest are all caged eggs. Right. But I think within time it will probably catch on more.
Certainly, there's an opportunity in there, isn't there, for sure, to add some value. Yes. Well,
it is, but again, it probably comes down to price point for people, and it's much more expensive to buy those products. So there needs to be a market who are happy to buy them. But I would think then, because of that the majority of salmon would be farmed. But as I said, they don't really label them like they do. Like in Australia, you need to even label where the prawns have come from, but they don't do that here. So you don't know if they're from Vietnam or from somewhere else. It's none on.
All right, thank you for that. There you go. That was Alison and Michael. Really thoughtful before, Astrid, putting some of the names in Portuguese. So I think we should dwell on that for a moment and go to the departments of the supermarket and get a language lesson from Anna. I know that Beleza is the beauty section, isn't it, Anna? And if you're looking for the bakery, you might be looking for the Pão Quente sign. And Talho was the butcher. Can we have a few of the other departments in the supermarket and a little bit of a mini Portuguese lesson?
First, I just want to say that in Portugal, it's also mandatory to say the origin of the products. Okay, so you can check where the pork comes and where all kinds of fish come. So it's mandatory. It's probably not shown on the signs, but they have the labels there, and if you ask, they have to tell you. Okay, there's a law about it. Sometimes it's just said origin EU, so it's European. They don't say exactly the country, but it's from they have to say it. Okay.
Okay, thanks for that, Anna.
So which section do you want?
Well, I've done beauty, bakery. It's bakery. What is it? You would normally say
charcuteria.
Oh,
charcuteria. If you want like different
the deli
kinds
counter.
of like cheese, sliced cheese or sliced ham, etc.
Yeah.
So for fish, it's peixe or peixaria, and then
Talho is our butcher, isn't it?
Talho, yeah, talho. And then bazar, it's like several things like appliances, cleaning. Well, it's a big section. It's
the bazaar, basically.
Bazaar, yeah.
Okay, and Beleza is right for beauty section.
Yeah, Beleza. Yeah, usually it's Beleza. Then you can have also hygiene, which is hygiene, so for products, and you can have limpeza for cleaning section for appliances. Yeah.
Excellent. And then the wine and beer section.
Yeah.
Now
garrafeira.
Yep.
Garrafeira or bebidas if it's like drinkings. Yeah.
Okay, and we're delighted to hear from our friends in Lisbon that this is Trevor and Shannon, who have noticed that the prices of Superboc, their favorite, and wine haven't gone up that much. And of course, there are always those offers, aren't there?
Yeah,
Those-
we are facing a crisis, so at least alcohol cannot raise the
Oh,
price.
it's government strategy. Okay, fair enough. Yes, fair enough. So the booze.
So
Now, this is a very interesting thing in the Portuguese supermarket. You've told us the
no, it's
garrafa.
I don't know other drinks, but for wine, the tax is lower than for some other food products. So it's like we are a crazy country. Sorry about it, but it's different taxes on different products. So you suffer more inflation or less inflation on some products. Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah, with the added tax.
And of course, I have to tell you, but I know you know, we have not had inflation for 30 years. And so now we are suffering from inflation. So we are
Oh.
really struggling with the prices. So it's the first time for us in many years that we see this increase of prices, because usually it's just 2 cents, 3 cents, 5
Yeah.
cents, 10 cents. And now there are products that are more than the double of the price. So
Wow.
some products have reached 70% increase, 70, not 17.
But
So
not
it's
wine, as you've explained. Those are good. That's a
it's
good
not my
starting point.
specialty, but I can tell you pasta, meat, tuna, milk, which is very bad for most of the people, bread,
Yeah.
rice, olive oil,
These are
eggs.
what you're saying is bad for the people because all of the prices of those things have gone up.
Yeah, and eggs have increased, and a lot of people cannot buy meat or fish, so they need to buy eggs, and even eggs have increased. So it's been crazy these last months. So yeah.
Well, thank you for that Portuguese insight there. And yes, and it's all relative and global, of course, this situation, and unfortunately not quite as badly hit perhaps as other parts of the world is some consolation here. But
Yeah, they sorry to interrupt you, Carl, but even yesterday they were telling on the news they are going to start an investigation because
Yeah.
Portugal is the country in Europe where prices have gone up
All
more.
right. Well, thank goodness they're
Uh,
launching an investigation into that then.
Yeah, they are starting to go to the supermarkets to find out, because sometimes it's labeled one price and when you go to the cashier, you pay other price. So
That's
even
crazy inflation.
inside,
The
no,
price has gone up by the time
they
you
are
get to the
they are
cash.
just lying you. They
Yes.
are just lying about the price. And so they said we are on top of the European countries with the most increase in prices. So it's really a very big problem. So I hope
Okay.
they can fix
Yeah, me
something. Yeah.
too. Well, I hope the government. Well, it's good that the government are getting involved in investigating that. I've got another question. If I can take you back to wine again, if you don't mind for a moment. What people will be interested to know, I think, in Portugal, and it was a real eye opener for me, is that there will be, you know, the wine section is obvious because there's so much of it. And it's pretty much all Portuguese wine. In the UK, where I'm from, you know, you have a section from New Zealand, South America, you know, France, Italy. Not much from Portugal, actually. And that's because it's all here. Most of the wine selection is Portuguese, isn't it? So Portuguese proudly selling Portuguese wines. And if you want French wine, you're going to have to look really hard.
Yeah, there are in the big supermarkets, you have some international areas, wine, where you can find bottles from other countries. But I believe that most of the Portuguese wine that are exported is especially for restaurants. So that's probably they are not sold maybe in the supermarkets, other countries. But in Portugal, we are very proud of our wine, and it's good price. So why spend more money on French wine when you have Portuguese wine? So yeah.
Superb. Yeah, you'll see all of the wines from all around the country. It's so lovely. It's like a geography lesson looking at Portuguese wine in the supermarket. Anna, thank you so much for all your help tonight.
You're welcome.
We're going to stop the recording soon. So let's go back to Astrid to conclude. Anything else you want to add, Astrid, on top of your excellent presentation and the comments that have been made tonight?
No, just if anybody does want a copy of the presentation, feel free to email me at astrid@expatsportugal.com, and I'm happy to share, especially if you want to practice some of your Portuguese words. But no, that's it for now. Carl.
Perfect. Thank you. So let's leave the recording there and ask a few of those more personal questions in the after recording chat. Thank you very much so far, everybody. Thank you, Astrid.